I rise to nominate Honorable Tajuddin Abbas.
I so second.
I rise to humbly accept the nomination.
Is hereby declared the winner and returned elected as the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Welcome to another fresh episode of House Tickets, a weekly program that enlightens you on the activities of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. The House is on a short recess and is billed to resume on the 27th of January 2026. Before the recess, however, it attended to a number of matters of urgent public importance, motions as well as bills. This episode of House Tickets will bring you highlights of these motions. We also had a chat with Lawmaker Saidu Musa Abdullahi on a range of issues as it concerns the 10th House. All of these on our lineup. My name is Dehelia Mamza, urging you to stay tuned after the break for the full package.
Over 2 years of responsible legislations guided by a focused agenda.
We want equity, justice, and fairness.
Through landmark legislations.
On the need to plug internet website.
People-oriented motions.
Rise to move motion on the need to amend. And so second.
Decisive resolutions. Engaging with the executive and coming up with innovative solutions.
You also face the wrath of the law.
The 10th House of Representatives, the People's House, working towards a better Nigeria.
Welcome back. Before the House recessed for the new year, it treated a number of motions on the matters of urgent public importance as well as bills. We will take a brief of these motions in our first report of the program. The report is compiled and presented from our studio.
Shortly before the House went on recess for the Christmas and New Year celebrations, it treated several motions from the order paper as well as under matters of urgent public importance.
As of September 2023,
Wednesday, 11th December 2025, Representative Saidu Musa Abdullahi moved a motion titled Urgent Need to Grant Total Waiver for Outstanding COVID-19 Survival Loans for Vulnerable Nigerian Households and Micro Businesses to restructure the components of the facility.
As of September 2023, 261.07 billion, about 62% of the loans remain unpaid, while 378.03 billion was classified as outstanding, reflecting widespread inability to repay among vulnerable households and micro enterprises. Further concerned that recent citizen surveys shows rising default rates across households and enterprise lending in Q4 2024 and Q2 2025, driven by inflation above 24%, severe food insecurity, loss of purchasing power, business closures, and shrinking household incomes. Continued automatic debits and aggressive recoveries are inflicting severe hardships on vulnerable Nigerians, risking the collapse of small businesses, worsening unemployment, and heightening social instability.
What is the fate of those who have paid while we are now seeking for waivers? For those who have not even made any attempt to repay this loan. My fear, Mr. Speaker, is that I don't want us as a House to pass a resolution that will seem as if we did not actually evaluate what the resolutions are. People approached the bank, the central bank, the NISA, they brought cushion into the system to assist people. And they said they should repay the loan. Some people have started repaying the loans. And they will now say that those who have not repaid, we should write it off.
Already a standing committee in charge of this particular matter, and that is the NGKS committee, the Nigerian COVID-19 Action for Residents and Economic Stimulus. Mr. Speaker, I think that that particular committee, which is a standing committee of this House, should be added in in the committee that this matter is being referred to.
The House agreed to urge the federal government through the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), Nat'l Microfinance Bank, and the Federal Minister of Finance to immediately suspend all deductions on the COVID-19 intervention loans. Call on the federal government in collaboration with the Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, the Federal Minister of Finance, Nat'l Microfinance Bank, and the CBN to grant total waiver on the outstanding COVID-19 intervention loans owed by vulnerable households and micro businesses in recognition of their inability to repay under current harsh economic conditions. Mandate the CBN, Nat'l Microfinance Bank, and SMEs Development Agencies of Nigeria to restructure the payment terms for SMEs. Direct the House committees on banking regulations, finance, and poverty alleviation to liaise with CBN, Federal Minister of Finance, SMEDEN, and Nat'l Microfinance Bank to ensure transparent, equitable, and efficient implementation of the waiver and restructuring framework. The motion was adopted as amended and was referred to the relevant committee of the House for further work.
The Iberia River Bridge.
Thursday, 11th December 2025, Representative Adeshola Ayola Elegbeji brought up a motion on the need to rehabilitate the dilapidated Iberia River Bridge in Emore Town, Shagamu, in Ogun State.
The Iberia River Bridge in Emore Town, Ogun State, is essential for connecting Emore and neighbor communities to Shagamu, aiding in the movement of people, goods, and services. The House is concerned that despite the rehabilitation, the bridge remains in debilitated condition with evident cracks on the deck, worn-out and sinking sections, corroded reinforcement, and no substantial work done to strengthen the foundation, piers, or side railings. The House is worried that the continued use of the structurally compromised bridge poses an imminent threat to the lives of road users, especially during rainy season when the river overflows, thereby accelerating erosion and further undermining the bridge support.
The following resolutions were adopted by the House on the matter. Urge the Federal Minister of Works and Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FERMA, to urgently undertake a full structural assessment and comprehensive rehabilitation of the Iberia River Bridge in Ebore Town, Shagamu local government area of Ogun State. Mandate the Committees on Works and FERMA to visit the site and ascertain the current state of the bridge, engage with the supervising ministry, and review the scope of the earlier intervention.
The deterioration of the Ovia Bridge, a major transport...
Still on the same day, a similar motion was moved by Representative Omoshede Gabriela Igbinedion. It was on the rehabilitation of the collapsed Ovia Bridge in Edo State.
The deterioration of the Ovia Bridge, a major transport route for interstate and daily movement of people, goods, and services across the South-South and Southwest region through the Benin-Ore-Lagos Expressway, linking Benin City to Ovia. Also notes that the Ovia Bridge, despite its strategic, economic, and social importance, poses a serious threat to commuters due to structural damage, erosion, and lack of maintenance interventions. Disturbed that despite this appropriation, no tangible work has commenced on site, raising concerns about the delay in implementation and the potential for preventable tragedies.
The House then resolved to urge the Federal Ministry of Works and Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FERMA, to immediately mobilize contractors to the site and commence the long overdue rehabilitation of the Ovia Bridge as provided for in the 2024 Appropriation Act. Also urge the Federal Ministry of Works to prioritize the safety of road users by ensuring the release of funds for the execution of the Ovia Bridge rehabilitation project. Mandate the Committees on Appropriations and Works to invite the relevant MDAs to explain the delay in the implementation and show urgent actions taken. Also mandate the Committee on Works to conduct an immediate oversight visit to the Ovia Bridge and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. The motion was adopted and referred to the House Committee on Works for further work.
The ayes have it.
In another motion, the House on Tuesday, 16th December 2025, considered the need to address the deplorable condition of the Abuja-Lokoja Highway sponsored by Representative Danladi Aguye.
That the road is critical economic corridor used daily by thousands of motorists, transporters, and traders, and serve as a strategic route for the transportation of petroleum products and agricultural produce from the southern to the northern regions of the country. The slow pace of ongoing rehabilitation work by the Federal Ministry of Works has compounded the suffering of motorists, with some sections virtually impassable during the rainy season. That the neglect of this critical infrastructure undermines the national development effort, hampering the economic productivity and contradicting the federal government commitment to improve transport and infrastructure, ensuring safe mobility across the country.
The House, in its resolution on the motion, urged the Federal Ministry of Works, in collaboration with relevant agencies, to immediately open the closed section of Gwagwalada, Abaji, Kotonkarfe, Lokoja Expressway, particularly during the festive season, to ease traffic and congestion for travelers. In addition, the motion also requested the Federal Ministry of Works to expedite action on the construction and rehabilitation of work on the Abuja-Lokoja Highway to ensure safe passage for commuters and mitigate the risk of attacks on the road. Another resolution further urged the federal government to include the complete reconstruction and expansion of the Abuja-Lokoja Highway as a priority project in the next national budget, and mandate the House Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance.
Those about the amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The motion was voted on, adopted as amended, and referred to the House Committee on Works, Appropriations, Federal Road Safety and Police. On bills, Representative Jesse Okejo, alongside the Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda, moved for the second reading of a bill to amend the Central Bank of Nigeria Act to allow for proper day-to-day operation, professional oversight, enhanced checks and balances, and for other related matters.
In recent years, ranging from government concern, foreign exchange distortion, moral policy inconsistent, weak oversight mechanism to challenge weakness around currency redesign and policy communication has exposed a structural gap in the principal act. And that is the essence why this bill is being proposed to amend the CBN Act that help us to stabilize our CBN agency, being the highest bank, the only bank that has day-to-day operation. In the light of this, I wish to appeal to you for us to look into this, because Nigeria has made some gains and we want to strengthen the CBN more to do more.
The sole intention to bring to this honorable institution, and not with any ulterior motive, to bring these powers to the people of Nigeria that are represented in this chamber, I think is a beautiful one. Whichever government we have at any time in point that wants to redesign Naira or redenominate our Naira notes, or to even change whatever as far as Naira is concerned, it has to do that with the mandate of the institution of the legislature that represent the interests of the larger society of our own country.
This bill say aye.
The bill has been referred to the House Committee on Banking Regulations for further scrutiny. Other bills that scaled second reading include a bill for an act to establish a Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management and for other related matters, a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to create Ugwanu North and Ugwanu South local government from Ugwanu local government of Abia State and for related matters, a bill for an act to repeal the National Human Rights Commission Act and the Amendment Act 2010 and to enact the National Human Rights Commission Act 2025.
In case you just joined us, the program is House Ticket, a weekly compilation of activities and events of your lawmakers in the Green Wing of the National Assembly, coming your way on the parliamentary channel of the NTA. Just like I mentioned earlier, House Ticket had a chat with Lawmaker Saidu Musa Abdullahi. He was a member of the 9th House and currently serving in the 10th House. He provides an assessment of the performance of the 10th House since inception till date.
You can't compare what it was and what it is now. But in any human endeavor, there's always room for improvement. And fortunately, we have a personality in the speaker that is listening, that appreciates the opinion of others. Even yesterday, when in a meeting, and for some of the decisions that he has taken, he gets information from us. He deferred to some of us before taking decisions. So he's a learning curve, is a work in progress. But I can assure you that night assembly was a little more conducive. But hopefully, things will begin to take better shape from some of the engagements that we've had with the executive.
In the 10th House, Representative Saidu Musa Abdullahi occupies the position of Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Finance. With an understanding of financial matters, the lawmaker once sponsored a motion on the need to investigate the national social investment programs.
In the last administration, which was led by our late President Muhammadu Buhari, there was this social investment program, which I think was a very good one because it had impact on our people, from the school feeding program to the Jeep to the farmer money, trader money. There were impacts from all across. So when this government came in, the government embarked on this on twin reforms that had a negative impact on the lives and livelihood of the people. There is no reform that will come without pains, but as these pains are being experienced, it is the responsibility of the government to bring out its palliative measures to cushion the effect of such policies.
Representative Saidu explained that the current administration suffered some setbacks which hindered the continuation of the NSIP, such as alleged corruption and trapped funds.
This program is centered on the vulnerable groups. This is centered on our people. And we've all agreed, like I mentioned earlier, that the twin reforms that the government embarked upon has come with plenty pains. So the only way we can cushion this, the effect of these reforms is by coming up with stimulus packages such as the social investment program. So we are yet to start committee engagement as far as the assignment is concerned, but very soon we'll roll out our work plans and we'll hit the ground running. By the grace of God, by the time we conclude the assignment, we'll know where these funds are and we'll be able to direct and hold the executive to continue the program.
He, however, assures that Nigerians will witness a more robust fiscal environment and government, particularly after the implementation of the 4 tax reform laws.
Beyond the tax reform, we still have a lot to do in terms of the fiscal environment, in terms of the kind of initiatives that will come up with, in terms of the kind of projects that the government embark on, and also in terms of our sources of funding this infrastructures that we dearly need as a country. Studies have established that as a country we need to spend $3 trillion over the next 30 years for us to be able to close our infrastructural gaps. So what does that goes to tell us? It goes to show that we need to wear our thinking cap, look beyond the status quo to see how we can come up with initiatives to immediately close this gap.
As a lawmaker, Representative Saidu Musa Abdullahi believes that bills should respond to challenges in the system. Along this line, Lawmaker Saidu spoke on a bill that he sponsored during the 9th dispensation and reintroduced it in the current 10th dispensation, titled Religion Discrimination Prohibition Bill.
We have hijabites that were subjected to discrimination, especially in some parts of the country. So we decided to come up with a document to take care of the concerns of those Nigerians, because religious freedom is something that the Constitution guarantees. So we decided to come with the proposal to take care of, first and foremost, the concerns of those children that were subjected to discrimination because of their usage of hijab, especially to educational institutions. But we were smart enough, at the risk of sounding proud, not to have termed it hijab prohibition discrimination bill. We termed it religion discrimination prohibition bill, so that we will be able to accommodate the concerns of other faithful.
The lawmaker said the bill was drafted in order to accommodate the two main religions in Nigeria, but that it suffered some setbacks as the intent was not properly understood by some key stakeholders.
We didn't get the kind of support that we expected to get, even in spite of our explanation, in spite of the examples that we gave of what is obtainable in other countries. I think this is part of the problem that we have not been able to address as a country. You will have a problem and you want to shy away from the problem. There's no way you'll be able to provide solutions to it. When you have a problem, some of these problems are termed sensitive, but it doesn't matter how sensitive a problem is. If it's not discussed, there's no way you'll be able to provide solutions to it.
As we wrapped up the interview, Lawmaker Saidu had a message for his constituents.
Hopefully 2026 we mark a watershed, a major watershed in the things that we're going to do for the people. Where, you know, we've been engaging with people for the past 2 years, and some of those things I assure you will start materializing. And once they start materializing, our people will see the impact. The impact will be felt from all across. Principally, as a state, not just my constituency, our advantage, our comparative advantage is in the agricultural sector. And if you look at what the government back home is doing, all we need to do is to be able to key into the reforms that the government back home is coming up with and the initiatives that are coming up in order to harness the agricultural potentials of the state. And in doing that, what we want to do at this level is to be able to support the state in building the needed infrastructure.
That was Lawmaker Saidu Musa Abdullahi, popularly called SMA. He represents the good people of Bidda, Baku, Kacha Federal Constituency of Niger State, and spoke on the 10th House, financial management, and as a lawmaker, keen on using the legislature to address national issues.
Over 2 years of responsible legislations, guided by a focused agenda.
We want equity, justice, and fairness.
Through landmark legislations.
On the need to block internet website.
People-oriented motions.
Wants to move motion on the need to amend. And so second.
Decisive resolutions. Engaging with the executive and coming up with innovative solutions.
You also face the wrath of the law.
The 10th House of Representatives, the People's House, working towards a better Nigeria.
And it is on that note that we end the program. Do join us again next time. You can also watch House Ticket on our YouTube channel, New Age TV Network. Feedback by way of comments and questions on the workings of the House of Representatives can be sent through our mobile phone number showing on your screen. Thanks for watching. Remember to stay safe always. Bye-bye.